What's going on, everybody? Cryptip Helper back again with another video, and this time we're going to discuss Elrond and the Maiar DEX upchange. We'll also discuss what's going on with strategies, what's going on in the world of Elrond. So guys, before we get into it, as you can see on the screen, I am 299 subscribers. So if you would be the kindest one and make that 300, I would be forever grateful. Hit the like button, but first of all, let's just jump into it. So what's been going on? So if you go on to Mr. Minku on Elrond, which is the founder of Elrond, you can see he's been quite active and a lot of stuff's been going on in the Elrond blockchain. So if you look into this, we've got obviously the Grand Bridge, we've got the marketplace, we've got the MEX listings, we've got the economics upgrade, we've got the U Trust, we've got the new Launchpad project, we've got the platforms, we've got the DEX platforms. So this is the first tipping point, but if you go through the thread, which I like to do, you can see what else is on the case. So we've got the startup explosion, instrumental business integrations, institutional inceptions. Now this one here is very important, and this is to do with governmental adoption. So whenever you've got a project, you always want the government on side, because then you've got the biggest uptrend of getting the best possible partnerships, and with the backing of the government, you can go much further than having the government against you. Just look at Ripple for that case with the SEC, etc. So this is to do with stablecoins, lending, cards, the Maiar 2.0 upgrade, and that's the second tipping point. So regenesis moment, biggest end game moves, phase transitions, game reconfigurations, momentum superwave, third tipping point. So how fast will we set new records? Only one way to find out. So guys, he's quite active on Twitter, which is good to follow, and there's lots of updates with Elrond all the time coming up. So this is why I follow this guy. And if you're in the liquidity pool with the Egld-Mex and Elrond Gold, this is just a guy who I follow, just putting in the trend lines and stuff, what he thinks is going to happen. But I'm going to tell you what I think is going to happen just in a short while, if you bear with us. So as you can see, they're quite active, and as we go further down, there's one where ESDT has been integrated with Trust Wallet, and that's exposing up to 25 million people. So if I can find that somewhere and show you guys, I think you'll be interested in this. So this is the upgrade for the validators. Now this is for the big boys. You have to have quite a bit of Elrond to join the validators, but you don't have to be to join the delegators. So I'm in the Delegate legacy, and as you can see, this is my total delegation, and there's me in my active delegation, and there's the percentage I'm using APY. So the strategy I use, guys, is I built this up. So I built this up to 3 or 4 Elrond Gold because I got in a while back, and what I did is I just claimed my rewards, and that's when I entered the liquidity pool. So I've never took anything out of this, and my strategy is to never ever take anything out of this. This will always be there, and I'm just using the rewards as to go into the liquidity pool, but we'll go through that shortly. But I just want to show you, you can also stake. So if you're not comfortable with going into the liquidity pool, you can use the rewards and stake and join the party that gives you the, well, up to 16%. That's totally up to you, depends where you want to, what you want to do with your strategy, but I just want to show you what I'm doing with mine. So at some point, this is going to show you where, there we go. So this is the Trust Wallet. So users can now use the ESDT, and this is going to give them more than up to 25 million users. So more exposure for Elrond, which is good because they're doing things properly. They're not pumping the price. They're not trying to market it and just get loads of people with hopium. They're doing the things the right way, and that's what I like. So guys, like I said, I've got the Delegate, and what I'm doing is I'm just claiming these and jumping into the liquidity pool. So here's the liquidity pool at the moment, and here's my tokens. So I know guys had a few problems because you could harvest when it got up to $10. That has now changed to $25, but that's only for a short period of time. It's not going to be forever. So it could only be a week, and it'll be back down to $10. I think it was just to do with the upgrades. But if you're impatient, and then just try and be a bit patient, guys, because the guys are working hard behind the scenes, and this will go back down to $10. I understand, because I'd like to harvest this, but I can't until I get to 25. So in previous videos I've discussed the Ethereum, what it is, I've discussed the ride, what it is, and I'll put, you can follow that video if you look at the top right of the screen now. And this is my strategy. So as we've discussed, I've got the Mex and Egld, and this is a strategy I'm using, guys. So if you go on to the Palm Tree network, it gives you all these different strategies, so whatever suits your risk tolerance. So if you want the Chicago, that shows you how to generate locked Mex to fatten the token printer. Buy Egld with the free Mex earned each day. So just say you claim the $25 and you're more bullish on Elrond, you can simply swap, and then you get the Elrond gold until you get your investment what you're locked up in. But this is what I've got here. This is the this is the Houston strategy. So I'm accumulating as much Mex as possible because it's the main exchange on Elrond gold, and if you're bullish on Elrond, then you've got to be bullish on Mex. So that's why I'm totally bullish on Mex. So I'm going to accumulate as much as possible over the next 24 months. And just think, guys, this is going to be in the rear view, this bear market, in the next 24 months. So we're in prime position to set us up for getting as much as possible by being in these liquidity pools, and then by the time the bull market does come back round, we're in prime position. So there's different strategies to what suits your criteria. But if you look on the Elrond price now, this is where we come from 207, and we've been coming in a nice, well, it's not nice, but we've been coming in a downtrend, and this is where we are at the moment. So until this breaks this trend line to the upside, I'm still bearish, and I'll tell you why I'm bearish on Elrond, and that's not a particular bad thing. So as you look with Bitcoin, everything resonates around Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin goes down, the rest of the market goes down with it. So as you can see on the support line, we've actually broke through it. We've not been in this area for a long time. So I know we've had a little rally upside, but there's not much volume, and I think personally that we could be headed further down. And if that is the case, we'll be coming down to these areas here, which is the 21, say 22k area. And if it gets very bad, we could come down and see 18,000 again. Now that's something that I'm not scared of, because that'll be a good setting point to start accumulating even more. So if Elrond doesn't break out of this, I think we could come test out the $50 areas again. And like I say, guys, this is not to scare you, this is just to tell you my thoughts. And I think by June we'll find out, the 17th of June, if it continues to decline in this area, something has to give. It'll either explode to the upside, or it can start coming down to these support lines here, which has got quite a bit of support at the $50 range. But like I say, guys, this is a long-term project, and if you've got long-term mindset like I have, it shouldn't matter what happens in the short term, because we're in this for the long run. And like I say, that is why I'm so bullish on the Mex token, because it's the main exchange on the Elrond gold. So if Elrond gold drives up in price, which will start heading up towards these again, and then the Mex token will follow. And obviously you've got the other tokens on there, like I've just said before, with the raid and Ethereum. But my sole purpose is to gain as much Mex as possible, and once these start burning, guys, there'll be more value in them. And I'm just going to harvest also. When I do get these out, I'll be putting them into the Mex and locking them up for 2 to 3 years, so I can't do anything with them. And that's what my sort of strategy is long term. So let's just see how Bitcoin plays up. It might drop down to these areas, and I think it is. It's not financial advice, so don't go and short on the market, but this is what I think. I always go with a bit of cautious. So if it does drop, then that's great. If it goes higher, that's great. But I'm not actually purchasing any Elrond gold at the moment, because all the Elrond gold I earn is free from me delegation. So I did spend over $1,000 a couple of weeks just before the crash on Elrond gold to get in this, but that was just my own fault. So from now on, all that I use is the one that I delegate. And basically, guys, that's it. But you should give Mr. Minku a follow, because he's super active on Twitter, and there's lots of things going on behind the scenes, and they're just doing things gradually. So that's why I'm so bullish on it. And like I say, we've got the ESDT now integrated with Trust Wallet, so that's exposing 25 million people, and that's why I'm so bullish on Elrond. And if you look at its all-time highs, guys, like from from the price now, just say we're at $100 roughly, to we've got a 5x to reach its all-time highs. And these are one of the best projects going. These are not the hopium that gets pumped up and spent billions on marketing. These are doing things properly, the way things should be done, and that's why I'm so bullish and I'm so at ease having me investments in with Elrond gold. So it's no problem at all, even if it drops down to the $50. And if it does drop down to these area, guys, I will be deploying my own capital out my own savings account to purchase these, because once it gets to these levels, then we're in prime candidate to get up to the next leg. And if you do get into these areas, guys, you could easily 10x your money back up to all-time highs in the next bull run. So that's why I'm wanting it sort of to drop down to these areas so I can purchase a lot more. But we'll never know, guys. It could just change. It could break out even quicker. It just depends on how you see it. But like I say, guys, I hope you like the video. I hope you like my strategy, what I'm using. And hit the comments below. What's your strategy? Are you building up Mex? Are you swapping it back for Elrond gold? Which strategy are you using? And like I say, guys, if you could hit the subscribe button on the bottom right hand of the screen, that would be great, because I like to see that 300 mark. Hit the like, tell your friends about it who's in Elrond gold, and we'll all just keep on chatting and see what happens down the line. But until the next video, guys, take it easy, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.